Hello friends, so in today's lecture we will start again elimination method. This video you are going to love it because in this you will understand how you can find the clues from the questions itself. It's not a trick, everybody can learn, just you have to be mindful, just you have to be attentive while solving the question paper. You have to read line by line very carefully. You have to, if you are not understanding the question, you don't have to give up. You have to find clue from the options itself. Year by year, what is happening is straight forward questions are not asked, they are twisted and turned so that you have to think in the examination hall, and if you're not reading it carefully you will do a lot of errors. When you come out of the examination hall you will think that this was a easy question, how I made it wrong. So be careful and listen to this video. It will boost your confidence several notches and you will understand so many things. Question number 35, with reference to the history of India, Ulgulan or the Great Tumult is the description of which of the following events? First of all, it's not, don't judge yourself, you don't know this question. If you will constantly judge yourself in the examination hall, it will affect you in the examination negatively. Even if you don't know, that's it. You will get your chance. It's like a game of cricket. So you will get full tosses to hit out of the park. Don't lose confidence. Don't judge yourself. The first thing is the revolt of 1857. Okay, the Mapila rebellion of 1921. There was nothing great in the Mapila rebellion. It is a controversial thing. So great tumult or great, it does not satisfy this. Option B should be wrong. Indigo revolt, though it had a massive impact, but it was a localized struggle, also having a very targeted grievances. Having a very targeted grievances. It was not something which was trying to like oust the Britishers or some big cause, something to like change everything. Okay, because if you will see Mahan Updrav. Okay, so it was not something Updrav, it's something which want to change the things entirely. Now you read Birsa Munda's revolt of 1899 to 1900. Birsa Munda used to claim that he will bring Satyug, he will change the entire thing. The Dikkus who are hurting the interests of the tribals, the cultures of tribals, they will be kept out of, and he is the messenger of God. So something great. It was promising. Also, the name Ulgulan makes the word very rooted or indigenous. So maybe it would be related to tribals. So 1857, and if you are confused between Birsa Munda revolt, choose option D because of the name itself. This is just to give you some knowledge. Panini is associated with Pushyamitra Shunga, no, Mahapadam Nanda. Amar Simha and Kalidasa both were the Navratna of Chandragupta II, or known as Vikramaditya. So remember this. Question number 38, काफी अच्छा question है, very good question. With the present state of development, artificial intelligence can effectively do which of the following? First is bring down electricity consumption in industrial units. Yeah, it's possible. AI can be used to like wherever there is not much work, you can switch off the electricity, or you can like just put a timer at 9 o'clock. The work will be done at the on dot time. The things will like electricity supply to this unit will be disconnected. So this is possible. Create meaningful short stories and songs. Keep it on hold. Keep it on hold because now it is a bit possible. So it was a controversial statement. Next, as of the option we will see statement. Disease diagnosis. Yes, it can be done. Text to speech conversion. It is happening. You all would have done it. Wireless transmission of electrical energy. Electrical energy needs the transfer of electron. So how it can be a wireless thing? If it was a wireless thing, then it could have been done earlier. Okay, so this option is absurd. And then if you will choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and see, sir, option D is not working. Option D always gives positive result, but be mindful. At least read the statements. Na? Try to apply common sense. Okay. So if you eliminate this, you will arrive at the answer. This is a controversial thing. It is becoming possible day by day. I will give you Gyan, not logic. Visible light communication technology. Visible light communication technology mostly used indoors. So in indoors they are used, so they are not for long range, but the speed increases several notches high. So if something you are doing inside of some office you have opened, something you want to have a very fast speed, very fast transmission, so you can use VLC, okay, and it has no electromagnetic interference, and that's why the speed is high, and it is very fast than Bluetooth. But it is not long range, it is short range, otherwise it could have been used at a large scale. And so with the use of this you could have guessed it. I would not say you should take risk in such questions because they are highly technical. Here there is a fact, okay, here there is no electromagnetic interference, so the extreme statements, facts are there, so it is hard to guess, I will say. चलो अब देखते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 40 with reference to blockchain technology consider the following statements. It is a public ledger that everyone can inspect but which no single user controls. Okay, first statement, the structure and design of blockchain is such that all the data in it are about cryptocurrency only. Such a big technology, and this statement is marginalizing it to cryptocurrency. Okay, applications that depend on basic features of blockchain can be developed without anybody's permission. Now, always think like a businessman here. Think like a owner here. If you want to, or an innovator here, think if you want to develop a software or a technology. So if you want to have more data security, so you will not give critical control to only one person. Blockchain technologies about this, but the basic things, basic features can be developed by anybody. Otherwise, it will become very rigid. It should have the mix of flexibility and rigidity. Nevertheless, you don't need too much worry about this. And this was wrong. Option D was correct. So don't think like a student. If you will think like a student in the examination hall, most of the questions will be wrong. You think like if there is a question of science and technology, think like an innovator. Okay. If there is a question of schemes, think like an administrator. If you will have this kind of thinking, maximum questions you will be able to find it correct. Question number 41 with reference to carbon nanotubes, consider the following statements. They can be used as carrier of drugs and antigens in the human body. Yes, it's possible. Second, they can be made into artificial blood capillaries for an injured part of human body. This is not a far-fetched things. They are telling blood capillaries they can be turned into, and it can be fitted into the injured part of the human body. So this is a far-fetched thing, and such far-fetched things are usually wrong. They can be used in biochemical sensors. Yes. Carbon nanotubes are biodegradable. Yes, they are biodegradable. That's why they are so promising. If they were non-biodegradable, then they would not be so promising. So such statements, which are like entering to our body, making blood capillaries, doing so much of like lofty things, are usually wrong. Note it down. Abhidhar, there will be an option, and people thought that in this one statement was very lofty. We will see. 42. Consider the following activities. Spraying pesticides on a crop field, inspecting the craters of active volcanoes, collecting both samples from spouting wells for breath samples from spouting whales for DNA analysis. Okay. Now what? Now just one by one analyze it. At the present level of technology, which of the above activities can be successfully carried out by using drones? Pesticides can be easily dropped by a drone. Craters of active volcano can be also inspected. Now, the statement 3 became a controversial statement. Like some thought it to be very lofty, but this is something which is possible. This is something taking samples is something is it is possible from DNA drone. So this is not something which is as lofty, but the dramatical thing was like they have made it so peculiar and specific that most of the students thought it to be wrong. चलो एक तो डी डी वाले जो चल रहे थे, चलो अब एक आपको मैं अच्छी बात बताता हूँ. जो डी मोड में थे, ठीक है, उनका ये गलत हो, ये सही हो गया. एंड द पर्सन हु वाज अप्लाइंग दिस लॉजिक बट नॉट प्रॉपरली, उनका ये सही हुआ एंड दिस बिकेम रॉन्ग. थोड़ा सा माइंडफुल रहना है, सोचना है, एंड दैट्स व्हाई आई टेल यू कॉमन सेंस रखो, इनोवेटर की तरह सोचो, एंड डोंट थिंक लाइक अ स्टूडेंट. The experiment will employ a trio spacecraft flying in formation in the shape of an equilateral triangle that has sides 1 million kilometers long with lasers shining between the craft. The experiment is in questions refers to Voyager 2, New Horizon, Lisa Pathfinder, Evolved Lisa. No, Lisa दो बार हो गया, तो आंसर तो इन दोनों में चाहिए होगा. ठीक है, either Lisa Pathfinder or Evolved Lisa. 50-50 you can arrive. The answer was Evolved Lisa, but in such questions you can take a risk, and this is a calculated risk. It's not something which is uncalculated or risky. आ जाते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 45. What is the importance of using pneumococcal conjugate vaccines in India? These vaccines are effective against pneumonia as well as meningitis and sepsis. Okay. Dependence on antibiotics that are not effective against drug-resistant bacteria can be reduced. Okay. These vaccines have no side effects and cause no allergic reaction. Now, first is it can be used for meningitis and sepsis. Possible one kind of vaccine can be used for other diseases as well. If there is a similarity in symptom, vector similarity is there, then it could be used. Antibiotics are used when you catch that particular disease. Vaccine is used as a preventive measure. So one is curative, one is preventive. So if you are preventing the disease, then curative thing can be minimized, and taking more antibiotics, more antibiotic drugs can cause multi-drug resistant infection and can make bacteria multi-drug resistant. This is the reality. Okay. Now, these vaccines have no side effects. Absolutely, vaccine, how they work? You are providing the vector which is there and the foreign material in a very limited quantity or a very limited amount, or something related to it, some protein, something in a limited quantity, so as to create a memory. So when this is happening, how there cannot be any side effect? Right? The disease can be fatal. It can have a 10% of the effect, which can be dealt by the body. So ये no side effect आप ये कर लेते ना, तो this was the correct answer. अब ये साइंस में डी चले तो उनका this became also wrong. ठीक है, तो ऐसे अगर डी चलोगे and you will not apply mine, then it will be very hard for you. Question number 46. In India, the term public key infrastructure is used in the context of digital security infrastructure, food security infrastructure, healthcare and education infrastructure, telecommunication, transportation infrastructure. Now you see, security is coming twice. Security is coming twice. And key और security का बहुत बेहतरीन correlation होता है. Key किसके लिए यूज की जाती है? ताले में लगाते हैं. Security के लिए होती है. ठीक है. So either the option A or the option B, a food security infrastructure, public key infrastructure, थोड़ा सा इन दोनों में आप दिमाग लगाओ तो आप आंसर पे अराइव कर सकते हो। तो वो कितनी आसानी से ये सी डी हट गया, एंड दिस लॉजिक वर्क्स। अरे आफ्टर ऑल द एग्जामिनर जो एग्जामिनेशन सेट कर रहा है पेपर, उसके लिए 4 ऑप्शंस हर चीज में बनाना इज नॉट इजी। वो कुछ ना कुछ क्लू छोड़ के जाता है। वो 2 आवर्स में पकड़ना इज दी मेजर चैलेंज। अगर मैं आपको 6 आवर्स दे दूं तो आप सब क्लू निकाल लोगे। सम तो ही विल मैन्युफैक्चर कर रहा है ना कहीं से, ऑप्शंस रेडीमेड थोड़ी है। जब मैन्युफैक्चर करोगे तो देयर विल बी ऑलवेज क्लू। आई कैन नॉट एग्री दैट देयर कैन नॉट बी एनी क्लू। क्लू तो रहेगा ही रहेगा। Which of the following statements are correct regarding the general difference between plant and animal cells? ठीक है, अब ये तो मतलब नॉलेज का गेम है प्योर, कि इसमें सेल वॉल वाला जो है कि प्लांट्स हैव सेल्यूलोज वॉल्स बट एनिमल्स डू नॉट, और प्लांट सेल्स डू नॉट हैव प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन। ये प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन तो इन एवरी लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म इट इज देयर। ठीक है, दिस वाज द गेम ऑफ नॉलेज। अब क्वेश्चन नंबर 48, इट्स इंटरेस्टिंग। Which of the following are the reasons, factors for exposure to benzene pollution? Now this logic I have applied in the exam environment. It's a fantastic logic. First is automobile exhaust. Second is tobacco smoke. Third is wood burning. Fourth is using varnished wooden furniture. Fifth is using products made of polyurethane. अब ये polyurethane वगैरह जानने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। C. Now I am writing something. Tobacco comes from the leaves, wood comes from the seed. Tobacco also comes from the plant, wood also comes from the plant. So if benzene will come, then it will come from both tobacco and wood. It cannot happen that it will come only with wood but not with tobacco, because the originator of these two products is same. It is plant. It is not coming from every wood, but from wood it can come. So 2 and 3 would be together correct or together wrong. So together wrong, if you find, you will not find any option. Now you will be left with either 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that you have to think. या तो 5 के 5 करेक्ट हो या 1, 2, 3, 50-50 easily you applied. But what I thought is using varnish, थोड़ा polish करते हैं in the wood, that does not have benzene. Okay, so इस logic से I found that benzene अगर इन सब चीजों में होगा तो it would not be safe to use it, क्योंकि उनमें other chemicals होते हैं बट बेंजीन नहीं होता है। ठीक है, तो ये थोड़ा सा मुझे नॉलेज था तो आई अराइव्ड एट द करेक्ट आंसर। इवन इफ यू डोंट हैव नॉलेज, अप्लाई सच लॉजिक ना, देयर इज अ 50% चांस इट विल बिकम राइट। बस डी का बायस हटा के रखो एंड थिंक इन अ लाइक अ साइंस स्टूडेंट। लॉजिक फाइंड करो, लॉजिक से प्रीलिम्स होता है, एंड दिस इज द रीजन इंजीनियर्स डू क्रैक इन मोर नंबर प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन, because उनके अंदर लॉजिक जिंदा है। This examination is not like PCS where you will learn mug up facts. Because there is a limitation. Na? What PCS is doing is they are making you mug facts and they are killing your logic. That's why I tell if you are wholly preparing for PCS, it may be possible that you will not do good in this UPSC examination until the last UPPSC examination work. वहाँ पे 2-3 years तक जो UPSC इंटरव्यू दिए थे, they climbed the ladder, but slowly they are making prelims very factual, and mains में they had added 2 papers that will be of factual nature. So this is the reality. Be realistic. Your parents will not know this, but you have to know this. ये तो क्वेश्चन नंबर 49 है, इजी है। If another global financial crisis happens in the near future, which of the following action policies are most likely to give some immunity to India? ठीक है, not depending on short term foreign borrowing. Yes, foreign borrowing है, ठीक है, short term ले लिया, it can make you more vulnerable. Opening up to more foreign banks. Foreign banks का मतलब क्या है कि you have a foreign bank which have a considerable say in lending, etc., providing credits. It is sustaining your economy. And if there is a global crisis, say for example there is a foreign bank named Silicon Valley, and it has more number of branches in India, and it is providing funds to around 300 startups or 400 listed companies. And if it like if American economy crashes and Silicon Valley Bank also has impact, then Silicon Valley's impact will make us more vulnerable in India. So this was the logic which you have to like think. And full capital account convertibility किया ही इसलिए नहीं किया कि it will make India more vulnerable. So be logical and you will get the answer. Question number 50. 99% of the students made it wrong. If you withdraw rupees 1 lakh in cash from your demand deposit account at your bank, the immediate effect on aggregate money supply in the economy will be. अब देखो यार, मनी सप्लाई में, एग्रीगेट मनी सप्लाई में डिमांड डिपॉजिट भी आता है एंड कैश भी आता है, तो एक से दूसरे में कन्वर्ट कर दिया तो इससे मनी सप्लाई को क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? एक से दूसरे को आपने कर दिया, अभी आपने खर्च नहीं किया, मान लो उसको खर्च कर दो, मान लो यू बाय समथिंग और इकोनॉमी से चलने लगे या क्रेडिट क्रिएशन हो जाए तो अलग बात है, ठीक है। बट आपने डिमांड डिपॉजिट से उतना ही अमाउंट मनी का निकाल लिया और होल्ड किया हुआ अभी कैश को, तो उससे कोई फर्क पड़ेगा नहीं। M1, M2, M3, M4 ये फॉर्मूला देखो एंड यू विल गेट द आंसर। स्टिक टू द बेसिक्स। ये दिस इज बेस्ड ऑन लॉजिक ऑफ लाइक FDI, FPI, these are non-debt creating, they create ownership etc. But external commercial borrowings, any kind of bonds, they create debt. So this was they dropped this question number 52, because in options they had like put wrong facts. This is a very simple question number 53. This is based on knowledge of economy. Now question number 55, here there is a logic. In India, why are some nuclear reactors kept under IAEA safeguards while others are not? Some use uranium, others use thorium. It doesn't matter, no? They are using uranium or thorium. Some use imported uranium, others use domestic supplies. Can be a possible answer. Some are operated by foreign enterprises and other are operated by domestic enterprises. Which nuclear power plants in India is operated by foreign enterprises? Name it one. Option D. Some are state owned and others are privately owned. Which nuclear reactor is owned by private? So this C and D though is wrong. And the logic is if something is coming from the foreign land, something is coming from, like, we got a waiver, na, energy waiver, then only we could like get the constant supply, the uranium, and then America made us sign the safeguards. The simple logic is this. So even if you don't know the context, you can simply make these two wrongs, and this also seems illogical, so you could arrive at the correct answer. Hamesha you don't need to know the information. With less information people score more. ज़्यादा knowledge हो जाती है, then the curve is like parabola and it starts decreasing your marks. I have myself felt it. With reference to trade-related investment measure, which of the following statements are correct? अब देखो बहुत मजेदार है, ठीक है। यहाँ मैंने ऐसे लॉजिक्स I had used in the examination. Investment, quantitative restriction on imports by investors. They are not concerned with the regulation of foreign investment. अब ये इन्वेस्टमेंट 3 बार इन्वेस्टमेंट, अब ये कुछ तो रिलेशन है ना इन्वेस्टमेंट से, अब इसको पढ़ भी लो। क्वांटिटेटिव रेस्ट्रिक्शंस ऑन इंपोर्ट्स बाय फॉरेन इन्वेस्टर्स आर प्रोहिबिटेड, ठीक है। दे आर नॉट कंसर्न विद द रेगुलेशन ऑफ फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट। अब देखो ये दोनों में तो कोरिलेशन होगा, ये कुछ इन्वेस्टमेंट से लेना देना है। सेकंड स्टेटमेंट, दे अप्लाई टू इन्वेस्टमेंट मेजर्स रिलेटेड टू ट्रेड इन बोथ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज, हमें नहीं पता, ठीक है। तो ये अगर लॉजिक लगाएंगे यार इन्वेस्टमेंट से तो लेना देना है एंड इट कैन बी करेक्ट, सो हम इसके बेसिस पे दो ऑप्शन एलिमिनेट करके सी और डी पे तो आ ही सकते हैं, ठीक है। उसके बाद आपको लगाना कि यार बोथ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज है कि नहीं है, यार इन्वेस्टमेंट मेजर से रिलेटेड हो सकता है, सर्विसेज ना हो सकता, गुड्स ना हो, तो थोड़ा सा तो क्योंकि ये थोड़ा स्पेसिफिक सा दिख रहा है ना, तो यू कुड हैव अप्लाइड, लाइक अगर 50-50 है तो मेरे लिए तो 60-40 था। Question number 58, pure logic. With reference to the Indian economy after the 1991 economic liberalization, consider the following statements. Worker productivity increased in urban areas while it decreased in rural areas. Okay, ठीक है, हम देखेंगे अभी आगे. The percentage share of rural area in the workforce steadily increased. अच्छा भाई, okay. In rural area, the growth is in non-farm economy increased. Statement 4, the growth rate in rural employment decreased. चलिए अब देखते हैं. Worker productivity increased in urban area while it decreased in rural area. पता नहीं, ठीक है. So कुछ हम we cannot apply any common sense. The percentage share of rural areas in the workforce steadily increased. Yeah, there is a steady migration that is happening. Immediately after 1991 इतना सारा माइग्रेशन हुआ. उससे पहले तो रूरल डोमिनेटेड हमारी इकोनॉमी थी एंड देन लॉट्स ऑफ माइग्रेशन हैपेंड फ्रॉम द रूरल एरियाज टू द अर्बन एरियाज. तो ये सेकंड स्टेटमेंट तो एब्सोल्युटली रॉन्ग है. ठीक है, कोई भी कॉमन सेंस इसमें बैठता नहीं है. देन यू विल cut the option A and option D and you will be left with either the option B or the C. Now we will read the third statement. In rural area, the growth in non-farm economy increased. Non-farm economy मतलब क्या? It can be fisheries, it can be you are having cattle, etc. Okay, so something which is not really like crops, etc. You are farming and you are going towards like these allied sectors, non-farm sectors. So from 1991, government had given so much of funds, so much of schemes, so much of thrust has been given. A PEDA was made. So many things were done to boost it. And you know that fisheries growth rate, livestock growth rate is far more greater than the agriculture sector. So अगर 2% भी बढ़ा, 3% भी बढ़ा, 4% भी बढ़ा, तो वो तो बढ़ा ही होगा. तो ये तो लॉजिकल लग रहा है ना क्वेश्चन नंबर जो स्टेटमेंट नंबर 3 है. ठीक है, तो ये जो क्वेश्चन नंबर आपका जो स्टेटमेंट नंबर 3 है दैट इट इज सीमिंगली लॉजिकल. ठीक है, अब आप लेफ्ट हो गए ऑप्शन बी एंड ऑप्शन सी में. ठीक है, और दैट यू हैव टू चूज इन दोनों में क्या होगा. ग्रोथ रेट इन रूरल एम्प्लॉयमेंट डिक्रीज्ड. Growth rate in rural employment decreased. Let me verify once this answer. I'm a bit confused here. Yeah, so I was right. So the growth rate in rural employment decreased. अब इसमें जो logic which I used was, I guess, yeah, मैंने ये सोचा था इसमें कि रूरल एम्प्लॉयमेंट जो है उसका जो रेट है वो डिक्रीज कैसे हुआ. बिकॉज व्हाट हैपेंड इज दैट जो एग्रीकल्चर लैंड थी दैट बिकेम इवन शॉर्टर, हैंडकरचीफ साइज लैंड होल्डिंग्स होने लगी. तो द एम्प्लॉयमेंट कुड हैव बीन प्रोवाइडेड बाय द एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर दैट डिक्रीज. ठीक है, disguised employment increased. So the rural employment and there was not much investment or there was not much progress in the cottage industry in the rural areas revival. So उस logic से I thought yes, growth rate in rural employment may have decreased. So this should be the option B. The confusion was created because somehow how I took the option C I don't know and I felt that this is wrong क्योंकि fourth भी तो सही होना चाहिए. तो answer is B. अब आ जाइए क्वेश्चन नंबर 59 पे. इधर भी लॉजिक बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग लॉजिक लग रहा है. कंसीडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स. इन टर्म्स ऑफ शॉर्ट टर्म क्रेडिट डिलीवरी टू द एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर, district central cooperative banks deliver more credit in comparison to scheduled commercial banks and regional rural banks. Okay, one of the most important function of DCCBs is to provide funds to the primary agricultural credit society. Which of the statements given above are correct? अब ये बोल रहा है कि सडनली एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट सेंट्रल कोऑपरेटिव बैंक आता है. कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स आर ऑफ सो मेनी टाइप्स. ठीक है, पहले तो कोऑपरेटिव बैंक में इतना ज्यादा क्लासिफिकेशन. अब उसमें से एक कोई पर्टिकुलर डिस्ट्रिक्ट सेंट्रल कोऑपरेटिव बैंक है जिसका कंट्रीब्यूशन क्रेडिट में, ठीक है, एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर को शेड्यूल्ड कमर्शियल बैंक से ज्यादा है और आरआरबी से भी ज्यादा है. अब ये तो कुछ एकदम ही मैन्युफैक्चर्ड स्टेटमेंट लग रहा है. इतने सारे कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स हैं, उसमें से डिस्ट्रिक्ट सेंट्रल कोऑपरेटिव बैंक का जो शेयर है तो शेड्यूल्ड कमर्शियल बैंक जितनी बड़ी एंटिटी, कितने सारे शेड्यूल्ड कमर्शियल बैंक है, एंड आरआरबी से ज्यादा है। ये तो रॉन्ग लग रहा है ना। वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट फंक्शन ऑफ डीसीसीबी इज टू प्रोवाइड फंक्शन टू द प्राइमरी एग्रीकल्चर क्रेडिट सोसाइटी। वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट, चलो ठीक लगता है, इस वैल्यू फंक्शन अगर होता तो ये रॉन्ग हो जाता। सो ऑप्शन बी इज द करेक्ट आंसर। अब आ गए क्वेश्चन नंबर 60 में, प्योर लॉजिक से सही हो रहा है। हु नोज की क्या है क्राइटेरिया, क्या नहीं है। इन इंडिया अंडर साइबर इंश्योरेंस फॉर इंडिविजुअल्स which of the following benefits are generally covered in addition to payment for the loss of funds and other benefits? Cyber insurance. Individual cost of restoration of the computer system in case of malware disrupting access to one's computer. Malware is something which is related to cyber. Malware attack हो गया, so it is something related to cyber crime से related होगा. Cost of a new computer, some miscreant willfully damage and if proved so. ये क्या cyber crime है? If someone comes and breaks my laptop, is it a cyber crime or it is a normal crime? Apply a logic, na? Yeah. People were confused in this. Third is cost of hiring a specialized consultant to minimize the loss in case of cyber extortion. You would have heard about ransomware, वो भी extortion मानते हैं, तो it's a cyber crime. Cost of defense in the court of law if any third party files a suit. In case of cyber crime also, sometimes it goes into the court and there can be a case filed and insurance may cover it. But ये जो ऑप्शन नंबर 2 है, ये तो साइबर क्राइम है ही नहीं ना, ठीक है, तो हो गया साइबर थ्रेट्स नॉट अदर क्राइम्स एंड दिस आंसर यू गेट इट। अब थोड़ी ना दे वांट यू टू लाइक लर्न इंश्योरेंस, उनका भी द मोटिव ऑफ देम इज आल्सो दिस, ठीक है। In India, which of the following can be considered as public investment in agriculture? अब यार स्मॉल लॉजिक लगाओ, MSP को जो मिलता है द गवर्नमेंट, क्यों ये गवर्नमेंट ये तो थोड़ा सा अपोजिशन में आ जाती है, एंड ऑल्सो दी पर्सन्स हु वांट लॉन्ग टर्म डेवलपमेंट इन द एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर, दे आर अपोज्ड टू इट because it does not create any kind of investment. It does not create investment is what which creates certain infrastructure, which creates something for long run, which can be utilized by the farmers of the future generation as well. MSP तो है नहीं, ठीक है, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी सप्लाई, फ्री इलेक्ट्रिसिटी सप्लाई भी एक तरह का सर्विसेज है, इट्स नॉट समथिंग विच इज क्रिएटिंग इन्वेस्टमेंट, लॉन्ग टर्म तो कुछ इसका है नहीं। कोल्ड स्टोरेज फैसिलिटी, यस सही है। सोशल कैपिटल डेवलपमेंट, ठीक है, फ्यूचर में भी काम आता है। SHGs आर टाइप ऑफ सोशल कैपिटल डेवलपमेंट, इजंट इट? कंप्यूटराइजेशन ऑफ प्राइमरी एग्रीकल्चर क्रेडिट सोसाइटी, यस, हो गया, आंसर सॉल्व, खत्म करो, ठीक है। 236 एग्रीकल्चर लोन से भी कोई पब्लिक इन्वेस्टमेंट होता नहीं है। इंटरेस्ट कवरेज रेशियो, इसमें देखो कुछ नहीं, मतलब ये आपको तो पता ही होना चाहिए, ठीक है, तभी ये आंसर होगा। बाकी ये कि रिस्क के बारे में है, प्रेजेंट और फ्यूचर दोनों ही स्टेटमेंट है, तो इट वुड बी करेक्ट ओनली। इजी क्वेश्चन। Consider the following statement. The value of India-Sri Lanka trade has consistently increased in the last decade. 10 years में consistently India Sri Lanka के trade में increase हो रहा है। मतलब इतना ज़्यादा hiccups होते हैं इंडिया श्रीलंका रिलेशन में 10 years तक steadily, consistently increase. तो ये consistently increase unless it is given in the economic survey. I have given you the notes of economic survey. उसमें I have highlighted what is steadily increase. If it is not there, then 99% of the time it will be wrong, especially in the trade relations. Textile and textile articles constitute an important item of trade between India and Bangladesh. India and Bangladesh, you know that jute etc. in सब में there is a company named Roadster, ठीक है, and Roadster is quite popular. And there are so many companies of Bangladesh which are like supplying cheap shirts, pants, cheap cloths, cheap sarees compared to India, and many things are being supplied to Bangladesh from India. So it seems wrong. It seems right. Statement number 3. In the last 5 years, Nepal has been the largest trading partner of India in South Asia. ऐसा क्या नेपाल में मैन्युफैक्चर होता है कि लार्जेस्ट ट्रेडिंग पार्टनर हो जाएगा, ठीक है, तो ये तो मतलब वेबसाइट लगा ही, तो अब इससे बस जो एक सही आंसर लगता है वो ऑप्शन बी है, 2 ओनली। क्वेश्चन नंबर 66 तो प्योर लॉजिक से सॉल्व हुआ है, pure logics. Under the Kisan Credit Card Scheme, short-term credit support is given to farmers for which of the following purpose? Working capital for maintenance of farm asset. ठीक है. Purchase of combined harvester, tractors, mini trucks. Okay. Consumption requirement of farm households. Post harvest expenses. Construction of family houses and setting up village cold storage facilities. शॉर्ट टर्म लोन किसके लिए लिया जाता है? शॉर्ट टर्म लिया जाता है कि कोई इमीडिएट बड़ी रिक्वायरमेंट ना हो. क्रेडिट कार्ड से अपन ट्रक थोड़ी खरीदते हैं, वो भी किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड है, 2 लाख कुछ लिमिट होती है इसकी. हाउ वन कैन परचेज अ कंबाइंड हार्वेस्टर ट्रैक्टर फ्रॉम अ किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड शॉर्ट टर्म लोन? हाउ a village level cold storage facility can be created from short term loan? Just remove them. Just remove them. If you remove the 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, you will get the answer. It's a pure logic. Nothing else. अब ये तो बहुत ही बेसिक क्वेश्चन था. जो 30 क्वेश्चंस की हम बात करते हैं, this is part of that. Here also eliminate करो. The Mekong flows in the Andaman Sea. No, there is an ocean which is always in controversy. Mekong flows in that. The name is South China Sea. अगर ये आपको पता है तो 2 options eliminate हो गए. Now you are left with either 3 and 4 only. Zambezi, you know, it's flowing in the eastern part of Africa, not the western part of Africa. If you have clarity of this ना कि कौन सी river eastern part में, कौन सी western part में है, तो western part में it would flow into the Atlantic, and if it is in the eastern part it would flow in the Indian Ocean. So Zambezi Indian Ocean seems logical. जब Zambezi सही है तो बोलगा कैस्पियन सी रशिया में, रशिया के नियर बाय कैस्पियन सी है, बॉर्डरिंग है. सो दिस इज करेक्ट. अब और क्वेश्चंस वी विल सी इन द लास्ट वीडियो. होपफुली इट विल हेल्प यू. This will give you a whole new perspective. Thank you so much. Take care. Best wishes.